of T.I. and Tiny. And listen, we had already talked about it months ago, but I just had felt like I got to get back into it. And I wanted to actually, read you guys some of the details, kind of run a fine tooth comb through it. You dig what I'm saying? That you're coming in, let me know that you can hear me and see me. Also want to let you guys know that in the description box, in the chat, at the top of the chat, all right, you're going to see a link to survivingdocumentary.com. This is where Surviving Tyler Perry documentary is going to be, which we will be talking more about tomorrow, Monday. We're going to have like a Q&A about it on the show this upcoming week. Because what's today? Saturday? Is today Sunday? Today's Sunday. Yeah, so we're in a new week. So this upcoming week, we'll have a Q&A about the Tyler Perry, Surviving Tyler Perry documentary. So if you want to read these full T.I. and Tiny documents with the pictures attached, everything should be released with the documents as of tomorrow. And then, of course, this is the website where, like I just said, Surviving Tyler Perry is going to be. But we going to leave Surviving Tyler Perry. We're going to start digging into his ass, pause, no Diddy, on Monday. All right? So I just wanted to come back. All right, and just share this right here. All right, this is T.I. and Tiny. I'm Tiny. All right, in 2005, all right? This was around the time that the Urban Legend album was out. I believe Urban Legend came out in 2004. This alleged grape R-wording happened in 2005 in the Los Angeles, California area, all right? So I just want to put y'all back in the mind and back in the visuals of like what they looked like back in 2005, back in the day. T.I. and Tiny, all right? I'm Tiny. And even though, when you look at this picture, you might look at these two and feel like T.I. is the more dominant one, allegedly, according to these streets. When it comes to the bedroom, when it comes to the freak-a-leak activities, all allegedly, Tiny is more of the aggressor. Tiny is more of the bull dagger. Tiny is more... it's really Tiny. All right. Not to mention, allegedly she like to hit the girls with the pink dildo. Allegedly. All right. So I said, I want to go back through this. You did what I'm saying. So anyway, let's take y'all back to August 9th, 2004. All right. If you guys remember, all of the urban outlets were giving us the update and saying that T.I. and wife Tiny was hit with sexual assault lawsuit over alleged 2005 hotel incident update. And everybody went, update? Okay, well, what did happen? And then they was telling us that the update is that a judge has dismissed the sexual assault lawsuit filed against T.I. and his wife, Tiny Harris, after the pair's accuser failed to respond to the couple's motion to dismiss the case in a timely manner, okay, according to the documents filed in Los Angeles court on Thursday, right? In her order, Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett writes that after the lawsuit was filed, T.I. and Tiny put forth two challenges to the woman's complaint: that it was barred by the statute of limitations because allegedly this happened all the way in 2005 and now we're in 2004, and B, that the woman failed to provide any factual allegations to back up her claim that the couple had sexually assaulted her in 2005. However, the judge left the door open for the woman to file an amended complaint within 21 days. Now, that last paragraph is what the Neighborhood Talk, the Shade Room, It's on Site, all of those little Instagram blogs where T.I. and Tiny know the majority of like black people like really get their news from. They left out that last part. If she didn't die. If you guys remember, if you can think back to those posts, and maybe somebody can actually go through, because I'm not going through all of the Shade Rooms and the Neighborhood Talks post. They just post too many damn times in the day. I'm not doing that. But they just told us, oh, the case was dismissed. So we all let it go. But all people really had to do was do a simple Google search to see, wait a minute, no. The judge said, we're going to dismiss, quote unquote, with, hold up, I'm going to give y'all the correct term. Right. Shout out to Code Red, Code Red TV, aka, survivingdocumentary.com. Shout out to them. I got these documents from them. For the foregoing reasons, the court dismisses plaintiff's complaint with leave to amend. They did not tell us this on Instagram. They didn't tell us this part on Instagram, with leave to amend, which means should plaintiff seek to amend her complaint, she must file any first amended complaint within 21 calendar days from the issuance of this order, along with the red line copy of the amended complaint showing all modifications made to the complaint. All right. If plaintiff does not file an amended complaint within 21 days, the action will be dismissed. Now, if she had failed to refile the red line complaint, then it would have actually been dismissed. Do you see how they play semantics with us? Now, even though Billboard.com put in this paragraph, all of the urban Instagram blogs did not. So I noticed nobody was really talking about this part. Like, wait a minute. And I can attest that I've seen the original court document, and then of course I've seen the red line version, which you can get all that over there on survivingdocumentary.com. Okay, it'll be available Monday. Now, the reason why the first complaint was really dismissed was because the plaintiff didn't have enough details in there. It was a lot of we went here, we went there, we went to this party with this person. And the judge was just like, no. First off, this was so many years ago. And if we are really going to take this complaint seriously, you're going to have to add names, etc. So in the updated complaint, Little Duval's name was added. Cannon, a.k.a. Caviar Cross's name was added. Coolio's name was added. What else? The hotel where the rape allegedly went down was actually added. A whole bunch of other details was actually added. Yes, the order to seal. Yeah, and they sealed it. That's another action too. T.I.'s attorney, they sealed this so nobody will be able to go back and actually see the updates. Nobody will be able to go back and see, wait a minute, homegirl just gave like a very general complaint at first, because I read it. She ain't really had no names in it like that. But then this second version that we're going to get into who Cannon Cross is. We're going to pull them up. The second version was when she started naming names and hotels. And we're going to get into this because I just feel like it's so interesting. So first off, I want you guys to know that the victim is allegedly a United States Air Force member. Okay, she's a member of the Air Force. So at the time when this rape happened, allegedly, she was literally in the Air Force. All right, she lived in the Lancaster. She lived outside of Lancaster, which is like, I want to say an hour and a half outside of LA. For all my LA people, y'all know where Lancaster is at. I got a homie from Lancaster, but for y'all that don't know, like Lancaster is like a small town way outside of actual LA, and a lot of people drive from Lancaster into LA to work and then back out to LA. So it's like ain't really shit out there for real, but it's all in, like, people in Lancaster still travel into LA to like hang out and do things, if that makes sense. But Los Angeles itself is so expensive to live, people buy homes in Lancaster. Okay. Yeah, about an hour north. Okay, thank you. All right. So anyway, the sexual assault took case in 2005, all right, because the plaintiff had wanted to attend a Grand Hustle event. All right. So I also wanted to just play these two because I just, I'm like, what was T.I.'s demeanor like in 2005? Let's look at some old interviews real quick.
Bedroom right here. This is the trap. What's up, shawty? Man, you come here at nighttime, man. You see that dude who just rode up and down that street on that bicycle? He was doing something, okay? And it's gonna be about 18, 19 more when the sun go down. Rubber band, man, we used to wear rubber bands to signify like how much money, how much blow we had. You know what I'm saying? We had, 3 rubber bands that'll probably hold about $5,000. Well, young and stupid, man. I might have been 17, 18. When I got, matter of fact, man, I was on this very street when KP paged me, and he said, "Hey, man, you know we going out here to LA for these
All
social
right.
awards."
So as you guys see, 2005, he was still out there hustling. He was still in his hood mode. He wasn't in that full, like he's in like dad/grandpa mode now. He still got the struggle beard. He done grew out the lock. Have them damn locks grew? I feel like them locks been the same size, been the same length for like 2-3 years. But anyway, he's in a whole new. He got a new attitude. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you compare, Jay-Z, the man now with 4-5, well, child, actually, he got about 8-9 kids. But the man that he is now versus like back in 2002, like the attitudes was different. You understand? Storm, do you really think he was trapping or he capping? I don't know, but I feel like Atlanta is small enough of a place that anybody that grew up with him would have been exposed to him if he was lying about that. Now, listen, I don't know the nigga personally. I saw him in LA back in, I want to say 22 or 21 at that comedy conference. And that's where I realized, like, oh, wow, we're the same height. He's just like, because I'm 5'6.5", he's 5'6.5". He probably is like 140, 145, but I didn't realize we were the same height because he had always said he was 5'9", and baby, I'm not 5'9", he not 5'9". We 5'6.5". So if we 5'6.5", I've never seen Tiny, so Tiny must be real small. No shade, no tea. I'm also a little confused because when I met Floyd Mayweather, I skated with him in 23. I skated with him in 23, but I met him for the first time in 22, and I was looking down at Floyd. And Floyd had always said he was 5'9". But I'm 5'6.5", and I was looking down at him. So somebody lying is all I'm gonna say. Anyway, that ain't the point. But I wanted to pull this up. One more interview I wanted to show y'all, and then we're gonna get back to the case.
Hey, bro. We just want to make sure that everything was right.
If anybody, I don't want to do none of this.
I got stories on that side, so I just wanted to make sure.
I don't want to do none of this. I'm gonna show mine here. If you want to see what happened, the tape is here.
Okay, he's still pretty.
The tape is here. If you like to see it.
Yeah. Let me see it. Man, but you don't like when we call you.
The truth must be known, man. That's all I provide the truth, man. That's it.
Yeah, and then just to reiterate a little bit, we actually saw the video, and yes. Lil Flip was kind of hiding behind a car. Right.
Yeah, he wouldn't step out, man. He wouldn't step out to the square. He ended up being pulled at.
Yeah. So. Anytime when you go out there and you say, "Hey, I'm taking this to heart now," you go out there, it's going to hit the news.
That's fine, as long as the truth hit the news.
Right.
That's my only my only problem with anything. As long as what really happened hit the news, man, cool. I can accept that.
Okay, he said he can accept that. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to show y'all his demeanor, personality as of 2005. So don't look at him in the light of like how he carries himself today. I want you to put yourself in the mind frame of how a 2005 Clifford Harris and 2005 Tamika Harris would have been carrying themselves in the club. All right. He was on top of the world. Women thought, I remember back then, women thought he was just the cutest thing ever. They actually used to call him fine. And for y'all that try to say you didn't, I remember. Y'all used to say this nigga was fine. And then he would take his shirt off, all skin and bones, and women would go nuts. Women would go nuts. So I remember. So I'm just imagining how he would be on some Trey Songz shit. Like, bitch, what you mean? No, I'm Trey Songz. I'm D.I. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they on top of the world like that, they just assume every girl is down. I'm not making no excuses for them, but I'm just saying. Yeah, bird-chested nigga. But the women would scream and going throwing panties on stage. Just saying. All right, so anyway. So let's go back here. I can take that down. We done with that. Okay. So plaintiff said that the day before her rape in 2005, she and her friend drove from the Lancaster area to the Palmdale Mall. Those of you that are familiar with Palmdale, y'all can tell me what the name of that mall is. unless it's actually just Palmdale Mall. Anyway, so while they were at the mall, they ran into a man who introduced himself as Caviar. All right. Now, first things first, you introduce yourself to me as Caviar, I'm gonna already be looking at you a little funny, you know, as a man, no tea, no shade. I'm gonna already be looking at you a little funny, but this is Caviar right here. This is Caviar right here. He introduced himself as an employee, producer, and songwriter of Grand Hustle, which is part of the reason why the plaintiff has literally his name attached to the lawsuit, Cannon, aka Caviar Cross, as well as Grand Hustle. Baby, she's suing everybody. All right. So he told her, I'm an employee, producer, songwriter of Grand Hustle. All right. You know T.I., you know them? And the girls was like, yeah. Plaintiff and her friend was like, yeah. So he said, hey, look, we going to these parties tomorrow. One of the parties going to be at a club, and another party's going to be at Coolio's house. And plaintiff and her friend was down. They exchanged numbers and middle of the next day. So I wanted to dig a little bit because I said, okay, 2005, Coolio. I'm like, damn, where did Coolio? You know, yeah, Caviar do sound like a stripper. I'm like, damn, what Coolio got to do with this? So you guys know Coolio passed in 2022, I believe. I found this article where Coolio talked about the first. By the way, this is ironic. In 2005, Coolio did an interview with People magazine and just talked about how life was so short, how music saved his life, kept him sober. So I guess he was dealing with like relapses and shit, even all the way back then. So rest in peace to Coolio. But as I was looking his name up, I literally just typed Coolio in 2005, and then it brought up basically him talking about drugs, his life, death, etc., etc. But anyway, so I could not find Coolio a house in Coolio's real name nowhere in California. Now, what I did find, and I know y'all like Storm, this is such a small detail, but whatever. Now, what I did find is his Las Vegas house that he had built from the ground up in 2006. Okay. Y'all see the estimated value. It's been multiple owners. The last sale date was 2013. Okay, y'all probably like, okay, Storm, why does this matter? So to me, this was important to look up because I'm like, I got to check the small details. Like whenever people were telling you a story, check the small details. That's how you gonna know what's what. So anyway, house was sold June of 2006. I'm imagining he was probably looking for this house or searching for this house in 2005, but I cannot find any address of Coolio in LA in 2005. Of course, he could have had a rental. It could have just been a whatever. May not have even been Coolio's house. He lived in LA at several points, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly where his house was in LA in 2005, but he did buy a house in Vegas in 2006. So small detail, but I just want y'all to know. Yeah, the devil is in the details. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm right. Could have, well, we didn't have no Airbnb back then, but of course, people rented out houses all the time. It could have been anything. Anyway, so I just wanted us to get to that point. So now, okay, next. Okay, so then as Caviar continued to talk to the plaintiff, all right, and her friend, he just started spilling the beans about himself. Okay, so he's trying to get the girls to come to a party the next day. You know, you're gonna meet Coolio, and we're gonna go to the club and meet T.I. and Tiny. The girls are excited, but of course he got to big up himself. So he said, you know, I'm a rapper, you know, I'm gonna be big. I'm actually managed and produced by Grand Hustle. And when you look up Cannon Caviar Cross, his aliases, Caviar, Cavi, K. I had never heard of him. I'm not gonna lie. I had never heard of him, but let's go back and let's go down. And he was actually signed to Grand Hustle. around 06, 07. He was even featured on some Bad Boy records. And so I thought this page was important to look at because really think about it. Caviar told the plaintiff and her friend that it was his job to recruit pretty girls to come to the parties, to come hang out with the rappers. He told them this was literally his occupation. Now, he was signed to Grand Hustle, and he had dealings with Bad Boy, aka he had dealings with Diddy. We already know Diddy would send out folks to recruit pretty girls and boys. So you see how this is all connected? It's all making sense. So even when they act like, oh, I ain't got nothing to do with Puff. I don't know what Puff was doing. Ain't no way they didn't. Ain't no way this man Caviar has such predatory behavior to seek these girls out at the mall. He saw them at the mall. Now, yes, granted, this was back in the day when men actually approached women and actually would just talk to women. This was back in the day when a man would just go to the mall to get numbers. This, we got to remember. But this is also a small world for a man to say, yeah, I work with Tip and I write for Tip and I'm signed to Grand Hustle and I make music and I've also written for Bad Boy and I go out and get the pretty girls for the parties. Look at everybody who's he's been connected to. Jay Prince, Puff, and T.I. Now, I ain't never heard of Jay Prince raping nobody. If y'all heard of that, y'all can send me those stories, but I haven't heard that. So anyway, okay, so let's skip to the next day. All right. I'm gonna just put it back on me. So then the next day comes, and plaintiff and her friend meet up with Caviar, and they go to Coolio's house, but Tip wasn't there. And y'all might say, well, damn, okay, Coolio wasn't there. They didn't see him. Tip and Tiny wasn't there. But this is who was there, allegedly. Little Duval. Little Duval was there. So now I have to think back and say, was that really Coolio's house at all? Whose house were these girls originally sent to? Because Coolio wasn't there, Tip wasn't there, Tiny wasn't there. It was a party, but they ran into Duval. Anyway. So Lil Duval let them know that, hey, Tip and Tiny been out all night and they'll be at another club tomorrow. So just meet up with them tomorrow. And so that's what the girls did. That's what the plaintiff and her friend did. So now at this point, hold up, let me go back here. So now at this point, all right, there we go. Now at this point, we on day 3. The first day, plaintiff and her friend meet Caviar at the mall. The next day, they go to Coolio's house, but they meet Little Duval. Then the next night, which now we at Saturday night, they finally meet Tip and Tiny. I'm Tiny at the club. So they met Tip and Tiny on a Saturday, Lil Duval on a Friday. They first met Caviar, got recruited by Caviar on a Thursday. And when I look and when I see that timeline in my head, it makes sense. Me and my girl, I'm gonna put myself in the plaintiff's shoes. Me and my girl, we go to the mall on Thursday. We run into Caviar. Friday night, we end up at Coolio house. Saturday night, we at a club with Tip and Tiny. All right. Now, when Tip and Tiny see plaintiff and her friend, they start to look and kind of point at them. But according to the plaintiff, baby, they was acting weird. All right. Plaintiff said, hey, I know what I was drinking that night. I was drinking an amaretto sour. Okay. Plaintiff said, look, I had 2 amaretto sours. All right. Now, I ain't never had an amaretto sour. I don't know if it gets you looser than a goose, But I kind of figure if you an experienced drinker, you can have 2 drinks and still be somewhat coherent. I believe so, but maybe I'm wrong. I also didn't know that this shit was made with part of egg white. That's nasty, but I'm gonna go back. So now, after plaintiff had 2 amaretto sours, Tiny looks at her and says, "What are you guys drinking? What are you guys drinking?" That's what she said to the plaintiff. Plaintiff said, "We got an amaretto sour." Tiny said, "Drink this." And just hands her drink. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is where the plaintiff start to lost me. Because if I'm drinking my amaretto sour, I didn't knock down 2. I'm sitting here looking at Tip and Tiny. They famous. They pointing and staring at me, not really talking too much, though. But you just going to hand me a drink that's in your hand and say, "Drink this"? Tiny wasn't drinking on amaretto sour. Why would I take a drink out of your hand? Bitch, your nasty ass mouth been on this. I don't want that. Now you can go get me some from the butt. See, usually the butt. When we're young and naive and we get around celebrities, we get caught up real quick. So Tiny handed plaintiff her drink, baby. Plaintiff took the drink, took a couple sips. Plaintiff's friend took a couple sips as well. They handed the drink back to Tiny, but what plaintiff remembered is that Tiny never took another sip out the drink herself. Plaintiff thought back and said, "Wait a minute, she handed me this drink, but I don't even remember seeing her drink out of it at the first place." So this is a lot going on. And I don't give a damn if Tiny and Tip is a celebrity or not. You a stranger handing me a drink out of your hand. I ain't taking that shit. I don't know about y'all. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. Anyway, okay. So let me make sure I stay on track because this story was something else. All right. So plaintiff said that as soon as her and her friend took their sips, they handed it back to Tiny. Tip looked at Tiny, looked at the girls, and said, "Hey, I'm ready to go." And Tip told plaintiff and her friend, "Hey, you guys just ride with us because we all going to the same place. Come on, let's go." Now, plaintiff said in her gut, she didn't really want to go. She felt a little weird, but she also felt intimidated and not able to say no to him. And I want to stop right there. Does that fault fall more on the plaintiff or Tip? Was Tip being too aggressive by saying, "Hey, let's go. Just come ride with us. Come with us. We going to an after party"? Or was it plaintiff's responsibility as a grown woman to say, "No, I don't want to go," or "I don't feel right," or "I'm good," or "we going home," or whatever? You say both? Both? See, when we get to the intimidation part, it gets weird. It gets funky. All right. So on the way to the after party, all right, they're all in a vehicle. So this is Tip. This is Tip. I keep calling him the same name. This is Tip and Tiny, plaintiff and her friend, and whoever else was in their crew, their posse, so to speak. They're all in a vehicle, which I'm assuming is like a Sprinter van, most likely. And T.I. started demanding everybody to take shots, taking shots, and starts passing around a bottle of liquor that was already unopened when everybody got into the vehicle in the first place. So plaintiff didn't see a seal get cracked, a cork get poured out, nothing. It's just an open bottle. Take a shot. So she felt pressure to take a shot. She took a shot. After she took the first shot, she immediately started feeling dizzy and started feeling weird. Which actually sounds similar to even what Love Jones told us about her story when she was hanging out with the Combs boys. How She took a sip and she's like, wait a minute. This don't feel like the same drink that I pulled for myself. Because look, when you a drink, and it's not something I'm proud of, but you know, when you a drinker, you know how you feel when you drinking, and you know how you feel when some shit been put in it. Just like if you smoke weed, you know, even though there's many different strains of weed, you know what weed make your body feel like, and you know when, wait a minute, bitch, you got some cocaine in this? You got some, what you got going on? Because this shouldn't have went straight to my brain like that. You understand what I'm saying? We know. It's hard to explain, but we know. All right. So anyway, she took that first shot, immediately started feeling dizzy, started feeling lightheaded. Then the party arrived at the Chateau Marmont Hotel. And I just want to pull up a picture of the hotel just so y'all have a visual in Los Angeles. Charmant Marmont Hotel, Los Angeles. And we're going to go to images. And we're going to go here. Here, right. Those of y'all familiar with LA, you already know what it is. Chateau Marmont. A lot of celebrities go there. Now, here's what's interesting. Okay. When the crew arrived at the hotel, one of T.I.'s security guards got out of the vehicle, whatever vehicle it was, went into the hotel, checked them in under an alias. Okay, celebrities do that all the time, but they were checked in under an alias. But this is why this hotel is so interesting to me, because a bunch of has went down here. Actress Natalie Wood was raped at this hotel. John Belushi died of an overdose at this hotel. Wait a minute. Britney Spears had a psychotic meltdown at this hotel. Lindsay Lohan got banned at this hotel after having a psychotic breakdown, after going on a drug bender, which just means days of just doing drugs. James Dean jumped through a window at this hotel. Let's see. Dennis Highland hosted orgies at this hotel. Arnold Flynn used to run underage orgies at this hotels, and apparently underage individuals, they called them nymphets back in the day. I'm just gonna leave it there. So, with that being said, a lot of shit go down at this hotel. This is just a hotel where you go to do drugs, to R-word, to have illegal orgies, all kinds of shit. Chateau Marmont, what's the other one? Hollywood? No, the Beverly Hills Hotel. That's another one where they do a lot of dirty stuff. I found that to be very interesting. That ain't got nothing to do with the lawsuit. That was just me, digging a little bit. Okay. So, as the whole crew went into the hotel, plaintiff got separated from her friend and was told, hey, don't worry about your friend. Your friend is going to be good. All right. So then plaintiff gets into a room with T.I. and Tiny. She's feeling dizzy. She's not really feeling well at all. She also realizes there is no after party because nobody else is there at the hotel. She'd have been the Beverly Hilton, thank you. She'd have been separated from her friend. She's in a room now, not feeling well, with Tip and Tiny, and nobody else is in this room but them. All right? As soon as they get in the room, Tip starts barking orders, saying, hey, we're going to shower, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Basically letting the plaintiff know how the night is going to go, how he wants to be ducked and sucked and tucked and whatever. Okay. She didn't tell us in the lawsuit exactly what he said. She may not even remember. It was so long ago. But nonetheless, he started barking orders. Okay. Immediately, he told Tiny and the plaintiff to go get in the shower. I guess he told them to go wash their nasty ass. Then Tip got in the shower. He was butt naked, penis out, and Tiny started washing him. I thought this was interesting because Tiny and the plaintiff was already in the shower. And then Tip gets in the shower with them, and Tiny immediately starts bathing him. Like the world penis is clean, right? Like when I say she worships her man, I wouldn't be surprised if she rubbed this nigga feet. Like, I know y'all like, Storm, that's her husband. And like, I get it. But I'm just like that. Like, he ain't even get in the shower and start washing. She immediately started washing him. Like, this was a routine. This was a whole routine. It's very, very interesting. Okay, so anyway, so Tiny starts cleaning him, and then Tip takes the towel. He starts finishing himself. Tiny and Plaintiff step out of the shower. Okay, mind you, Tiny had nothing on but a shower cap. Okay, Plaintiff was unable to say no, I want to go. She was unable to consent. She was unable to really do anything because she kept feeling so damn dizzy. At one point, Plaintiff gets on the bed. Tiny gets on top of Plaintiff, oils her up, and starts rubbing her body and her vagina on top of Plaintiff. Tip gets out the shower, allegedly sticks his toes in Plaintiff's vagina. Okay, it gets real freaky. Plaintiff then gets up, forces herself up because her body feels so heavy. She starts throwing up because she feels sick. Tip starts laughing at her and said, hey, bitch, you in last place. Which I guess he meant like, you better straighten up. After Plaintiff threw up, she then blacked out / passed out. She doesn't really remember the rest of the night. She wakes up the next morning. She's in a robe / towel. Some security guard, some dark-skinned man security guard is nudging her to get up. She's trying to find her stuff. The security guard ain't even really letting her grab her clothes. He's like, bitch, you got to get up out of here. He rushes her up out of the room. When Plaintiff gets to the lobby of the hotel, she realizes that her friend had also been raped, allegedly, but she was raped by that Caviar guy. So Caviar took her friend the night before, separated. Tip and Tiny had the Plaintiff, who's only known as Jane Doe at this time. And that's what it was. They got kicked out. A couple years later, Plaintiff allegedly tried to message Tiny in 2007, the Plaintiff tried to message Tiny on Facebook Messenger and said, hey, what did y'all do to me that night? I woke up, my vagina was thriving, my vagina was irritated for a while. Okay, so Plaintiff could tell that something was done to her vagina because she wasn't just sore, it wasn't just throbbing, but it was like irritated for a while. Who knows if protection was used? Who knows? Who knows? But that's what it was. One last detail I wanted to point out too with this is that the morning after the alleged rape, Plaintiff said to one of the security guards, like what happened last night? This is not okay. Like, I didn't want to do this. Y'all drugged me. And she was warned, listen, you don't want no smoke with Tip. I'm paraphrasing now. But she was told, you don't want no smoke with Tip, and ain't nobody gonna believe you anyway. If you tell anybody, they're gonna think you a groupie anyway. Nobody's gonna believe you. So, yeah, with that being said, that's where we are with that. When this story came out, we kind of glossed over it. And you know how, like, it's one thing for me to just report a story and just kind of make y'all laugh and giggle and we move on. Yeah, I said, let me go back and actually read through it. And let me go back and give y'all details. And I wanted to give y'all so-called insignificant details so that as more details start to come out, y'all can put the pieces together. I'm going to be digging in a lot more cases. I'm going to be digging into stuff with Tyler Perry, no Diddy. Oprah, no Diddy. I want to dig back into Coolio's death, pull up those records. Stephanie, we're going to dig into what allegedly happened to old girl. Paparazzi. All these hoes falling out of hotel rooms. I just feel like 2024 going into 2025, I've been playing nice with these hoes, and by hoes I mean celebrities. Well, they are whores. But the rest of this year, going into 2025, I'm going to make it my mission. Now, this is me, Storm. Now, the celebrity doctor gonna drag him, but me, Storm, me, him. I'm going to dig in their ass. I'm going to place my foot on their neck, and I'm not letting up, because there is no way that everybody in Hollywood is having the same story. It's the same routine. I don't live near these hoes. I don't live near these hoes. Whitney's case too, we need to reopen. I don't live near these hoes. But somebody gotta do it. Because these people be lying, blowing smoke. Let me tell y'all something. I spent, to my mistake, but hey, you know, you live and you learn. I spent probably 2021, 2022, you know, really trying to tame myself. And, you know, I want these interviews, and you can't really, you know, it was my mistake. But I had to realize you're either going to be for the industry or you're going to be for the people. My duty, my obligation is to y'all. Whatever y'all want me to dig into and report on, whatever y'all say, Storm, that don't sound right. Look into that. Even if I got to get a private investigator, I'm going to do that. Because I don't give a fuck about trying to get an interview from these celebrities. I'm not trying to be a part of Hollywood. I'm good. I like my booty hole intact, and I'm gonna just keep it that way. And then I don't even like how they give too many goddamn orders for me. All this, take this, drink this, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't even, y'all know I don't like that. I don't like that. Just saying. Just saying. Yes, it's a dirty job, but somebody got to do it. Okay. So once again, the full documents are available on survivingdocumentary.com. Shout out to them for providing the paperwork to me. You know, even though it was sealed, and I thought that nobody was going to see that red-lined version of the court documents, but we did. And there's some more stuff too that I can't quite talk about. But y'all can go there and see the rest. This is where the Surviving Tyler Perry documentary will be, and we'll dig more into that this upcoming week. Okay, but one thing at a time. But yeah, I'm looking at all of them funny. Ain't no way you was in this business and you didn't see these girls get raped, get abused, get trafficked. You know, I'm not gonna lie, Mary J. Blige is very suspicious to me. Lorianne Gibson, Boom Cat Cat. I ain't forgot you neither. I heard some things about you and how you used to get down and how you was a party girl, allegedly back in the day. So what did you see? And what did you do when you was at them auditions with them girls? Boom cat cacking for Diddy. That's that. That's that on that. Money can't buy virtue. I ain't trying to have no Jaguar moment, but you know, sometimes you gotta be like, wait a minute, you whole lie. You whole lie. You said investigate them boots. The original Tiana Taylor. Yeah, we need to look into that Victoria. I'm sorry, I love you, Victoria Monet, but that breakup with your man look weird, and then you all of a sudden you with that other brother, and I just don't believe that. I really believe that these people be gay, and they get together for an image, for a look, for the family image, have a couple babies, and then they just move on and go about their life. I feel like these hoes is really hunching on each other, and these ninjas is bending each other over. Like, what was that Netflix movie, Tyler Perry? Something in black, Bed in Black, something like that. Old dude giving back shots in front of his mom. That's it. It's a lot going on. I said, damn, when did they start showing full penetration on Netflix? Arranged marriage, yes. Beauty in Black. Thank you. Thank you. I saw that clip Armand posted. I said, damn, when they started showing that on there, God. Then it was like, oh, it's directed by Tyler Perry. Oh, that makes sense. This show's full of, that's what I'm saying. Lil Jones said they think that's what we doing. I know. But damn, we would have more money at least by now if we was gonna do it. And you know what's crazy? You know, I had an agent tell me like, oh, you know, you got to get off OnlyFans. You can't, you know, do mainstream work and do that. But then one of the characters in the Netflix movie is got to open OnlyFans. I'm like, y'all be lying. Y'all be lying. Y'all be lying. Y'all really do. What? Tyler Perry is a sick-minded individual. Listen, Storm, do you think Meg Thee Stallion would? But well, I mean, Tory, it's looking like he is gonna get an appeal. Oh no. Satanic Rituals called him out. That's what it is. I don't know it was that explicit. Listen. I didn't think it would be either. Because you know, normally they don't show all that. I watched that clip. I said, damn. I said, that's showing balls on balls. I'm like, that's penetration. I don't care what they tell you it is. Believe you me, they sometimes they have real sex in movies. Love Jones, tell them I ain't lying. Don't they be having real sex in movies sometimes? Especially if they can't really get a believable shot, they'll have you go take an HIV test and y'all will like really get down. And they'll just lie and say you didn't. Y'all said the Gucci third lip. Well, we know he allegedly gave old girl herpes. But I can dig into his cult because you know he had a bunch of girls tattooing his real name on them after they would have sex. Yep, Monsters Ball. Yeah, they were definitely having sex in Monsters Ball. I do not stay at the Intercontinental. Did you boys not get the memo? Ooh, Drake, Intercontinental, Diddy, Cassie tape. Thank you, QL. See, they be telling us. Storm, there is a crazy story about Leo DiCaprio and Scientology and a famous actress. Okay, I need to look into that too. And you know, every time I go by a Scientology building in Los Angeles, it's quiet. Like I don't hear nothing in there. Very creepy. Very, very creepy. Amy Schumer and John Cena. Yep, I'm telling you. I think it's also like part of Dick DeVille Ellis said they make actors wear protective cover. Yeah, for certain scenes, but for certain scenes, man, I'm like, no, they really doing it. Nicole Kidman just said she had to take a break from filming her current movie because she couldn't orgasm anymore. That's what I'm saying. What you think of Ray J doing back-to-back interviews on all platforms? He's trying to stay relevant and he's trying to like divert attention off of him. Believe it or not. By talking about other folks. What else? Leo DiCaprio left the country. Also a sick Scorpio like Diddy. What hell? They all leaving the country. If you notice, they're all leaving. It's crazy. Lil Durk is Jay-Z and Puff. Yeah, I gotta dig into the Lil Durk thing too. No Diddy. But I ain't gonna hold you. Like when it comes to like the gang stuff, I don't really be like I know that, but I don't really be understanding. Like I'm like, okay, who is this? I know who Lil Durk is, but I ain't like know his history. So I have to like literally research the shit like a third grader because I'm like, okay, what? And then it's connected to King Von how? And then they fall. Why they fall? And then so anyway, Steve Harvey and your wife at home in Dubai. Yep. Okay. All right. Vanessa said it's too much. Yeah, it is. Storm, did you see the video of mindless behavior at Diddy's after party? Let me look that up real quick. I bet it's on TikTok. Let me go to TikTok. Mindless behavior. Diddy. Let's see. I feel like these boys have a story too. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig into that. You know who else? It's posted on YouTube. Okay, you know who else I thought about too? What happened to Diggy Simmons? What happened to Diggy Simmons? Like he was rapping and then he just went away. What happened? That's what I want to know. Anyway, people, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you care. I will catch you all later.
It's Storm Show.